Another race Sunday, another week. Welcome back to the WMSC Championship here in Azerbaijan, in Baku, at the Caspian Sea. My name is Mark Jordan. I'm joined by Michael Kosbau today, and we'll be your commentary team for this race.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, we're just shortly joining the qualifying session. We can see the first drivers now leaving pit lane, and here's the weather predictions for the qualifying and the race. We're expecting 20 degrees throughout the qualifying with no rain, and the same thing for the race, just getting a bit warmer, 22 degrees, so not much differences between both sessions, a few degrees of difference. We'll see if the teams will be able to manage on that. Depending. When it comes down to the drivers' standings, Pascal Rollins is still in the lead with 84 points, 15 points clear of Philipp Puschke at the moment, and then Lucas Morno. We're expecting Philipp Puschke to have a good race today with a lot of teams actually having upgrades. I think, Michael, you can say a bit more about that.
Yeah, we can say about the race to the championship that Philipp Puschke has good chances today to close that gap a little bit, because the SCMM team has a lot of upgrades and the car seems to be suiting the track pretty well. And yeah, so let's see if that is the case. And also here in the team standings, they could pull a few points back from Wenger today. They expected to be the second best team, so let's see. Maybe they're in a fight with the second car for the fourth position. And let's see how many points they may lose today to Scuderia SM Motorsport.
Yeah, it will be quite interesting to see, because we're now heading slowly to the direction of the summer break. Just another 2 more races to go before we join the summer break, and it's very important for the how do you call it, how you will move on the other side of the summer break, just to see how motivated people are. I mean, obviously having a good weekend beforehand helps with the endurance for the rest of the season.
Yes, absolutely. And now it's qualifying time, and it's also a time where maybe a slipstream here and there could make a difference. So it's a very unique track, Baku, especially in the calendar we have. And yeah, let's see what will happen, as we see that the people, try to have a bit of a slipstream, it seems. And here we see Lucas Morno with, not that big gap to the car in front of him.
Yeah, I'd say we'll just stay on with him and just watch one lap. Baku, very interesting, because, well, the first sector, all just 90-degree corners, long straights, and it's all about the engine power, obviously. And then with the second sector, which we will later see, the very complicated castle section where loads of problems can happen. And then the third sector, again, with long straights all the way down to the start-finish line. I think it's actually the longest straight in the whole calendar, isn't it?
Yeah, should be one of the longest for sure. And now we see what the problem is if you try to do that. I don't know if he tried to do this with the slipstream, but now he's closing up to the car and is blocked because he's quicker, which is interesting. Lucas Morno has an old engine in, I think his teammate also, so that's what Cesario could hold back today.
Yeah, I can just imagine like being on board with Morno, just being a fly and just listening to him, how he's complaining about the car in front of you. I mean, we all know it. When you're trying to do a quick lap and then you're just being blocked, it's a very frustrating thing. But luckily, qualifying is not only just one lap, but a couple of laps. So
yeah, now the first times are coming in, and we already see Axel Flamm, who is in first place at the moment. I mean, these times are not that representative, but let's see how it will develop. But for sure, the Scuderia SCM Motorsport driver Axel Flamm also is one of the favorites. Let's see if he can maybe surprise everybody and beat Philipp Puschke here.
Yeah, and SCM definitely needs it for the championship. I mean, 30 points behind Vanguard at the moment. Puschke also, Poland's also behind Lucas. Sorry, who's the lead? I got confused now. Behind Poland, yeah, of course. Puschke behind Poland. I got them both confused again. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's very important for STMM to make a move in a championship to make it a bit more interesting towards the second half of the season.
Yeah, sure. And this time they seem to have the quickest car, and they also have the light curse version in it. So they should be, yeah. I don't want to say absolutely safe for the race, but they have a lot of good cards in their hands. Let's say it like this. We've got a yellow flag. I'm not sure if this is actually somebody who hit the wall, or is it just somebody who passed, not past the corner. I can say it's Lucas Mono, it was, who had an accident and then just went into the security lane.
And just saying Lucas Mona, I'm just seeing, maybe that's still an outdated information I've got here, but a top speed of 322 kilometers, just in comparison. All the other drivers in the top 3 at the moment, they are around 337 kilometers, so 15 kilometer gap, just to see if that will continue to be the trend for the Cesario team, or if that's just them not having had the chance to properly use that motor yet.
Yeah, it would make sense because they have an engine which is used already in a lot of races. So maybe that's the reason, and what we were seeing later on, that he is very quick in the corner section, but may lose out on the straight.
And that's always the gamble you make with tracks like these. I mean, if you haven't got the engine to support you, do you go more for the downforce around the corners, or do you decide to just get as much top speed out of the car as you can? It's always a question you have to ask the driver, and basically ask.
Yep. And now we got a message that it was Lucas Muro who had this accident with the yellow flag, and it was Rustermeyer in front of him, but Rustermeyer won't receive a penalty, as race direction telling us in this moment. And there is Philipp Puschke, who is now in first place.
Just watching him, but he decides to pit in. So, we had yellow sectors all around, so not going on a fastest lap. Looking at the gaps at the moment, he's still 2 tenths ahead of La Flamme and Poland. So, gap is still small, still a lot to fight for.
Yeah, less big the gap than, for example, team principal Philipp Peters. Yeah, this is his name. Kevin Peters told me before the race. So he thought Philipp Puschke would be and Axel Laflamme would be even more clear. So let's see if this is a surprise again, because the Vanguard guys are much more pessimistic than they should be in some situations. And now let's watch Lucas Mono here, who is going on his now, I think, first proper quick lap. I don't think that he's 1.7 down. That would be a surprise, but could be, on the other hand, as we see that Tonon is now in P4.
Yeah, Tonon just in P4, but still 1 second behind, which is quite a large gap. So I'm still expecting a lot of drivers to improve on this second run. Just looking, Lucas Mono, the first corner looked just a slight amount of oversteer. The second corner was looked a bit tentative. Generally, the car looks a bit tentative, to be honest, but maybe that's just the cars around here.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, maybe. Oh, that was close. Now we see Pascal Polenz
that
here.
castle section, though, it always scares everyone, doesn't it? It's such an interesting place to drive through. And race control already decided to make it a safe zone like last year again. Making special adjustments for those zones to make sure that the race can continue as well. Planting to that wall can make for big different changes in the race, and one mistake could just have a ripple effect through the whole grid. So race control rightly so deciding that maybe it's sensible to make special precautions around that corner.
Yeah, now we see Lucas Mono is getting a bit of a tow maybe from this Apex car in front of him, and he is going in 5th place. Yeah, so that's more like I expected him to be, while Pascal Polenz managed it to just beat Philipp Puschke for the moment for 19 thousandths, and now it's yellow in sector 1 again. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay, yeah.
19,000 though. That's a very small gap. I mean, but I hope that the gap will look like that towards the end of qualifying as well, because having a nice fight between those two, it's always fun to watch, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we see now, Gabriel Peckley, the second Cesario driver, he has one of the biggest gaps in qualifying performance to his teammate. Maybe today he can improve on that. Let's see. But he also has this older engine in, so they're running on the complete same plan. And yeah, let's see what time he's able to do at the moment in P9.
Yeah, I just realized as well, like the Potenzas and the Lucky Hamish racing cars, both with top speed of 341 kilometers.
Yeah, that's interesting. And somebody, I guess, damaged his car because there's a slow car in sector 3, race direction told us. But we are not seeing this at the moment.
Can't see anything yet either.
So maybe this is already cleared.
And if they're already in sector 3, I mean, without a front wing, there shouldn't be too much of a problem to navigate around.
Yeah. More top speed then.
Yeah, another rule that has been implemented in Baku since driving without a front wing actually can be a little bit faster during a qualifying, so that was banned for this race as well.
Yeah, that's a good thing, I guess. Would look a bit ridiculous. And again, a slow car in sector 3. Well, I mean, is it... Yeah, the question is what this is, but yeah, let's see. Seems like everybody now is waiting for the last punch, as Pascal Polens is in first place.
Now we've got another 3 minutes to go. Everyone going back into the pits, just getting a new pair of boots on their car, and then hopefully we'll see a nice ending to this session and see what the best of our drivers can put on a table, and maybe see some surprises as well.
Yeah,
do you have any favorites or any black horse that you expect during this race, or do you think it will be just a typical race with more or less like with driver standings?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I expected Mono to be not further away time-wise, but that he is in P5 could also mean that there is a bit of potential, for example, in that Potenza car, which is not used at the moment. Same thing with Curtis and Harley Self. They were expected to be pretty near the fight for P4, so let's see if they maybe haven't gotten their act together so far and maybe improve in the last minutes. So it could be quite interesting, also with the potentially effect of random slipstream, or in this case you see Menenghetti, I think, in front of Tonon. Maybe this is like they try to give each other a slipstream. In this case, the quicker driver now, Tonon, would get the slipstream from his teammate.
Especially for a team like Potenza, I mean, they're always known for putting up some surprise towards the end of a race. Always a team during the last couple of seasons who managed to get some points. So I just hear that we've got a slow car in sector 3 again.
Yeah, where Lucas Mono now is driving in, and look at that time in the middle sector. I mean, he's giving absolutely everything in that middle sector because he knows that the straight is coming, and now there is the slow car. Unfortunately for Lucas Mono, it's driving that slow that he cannot get the slipstream. But let's see what his time will be. Is he surprising everyone with a very decent time?
And unfortunately, no improvement as it looks like. So
Yeah, he lost a lot in the last sector. Maybe, I thought, maybe he jumped a little bit too much over that curb there, but let's see what Axel Laflamme can do.
but that's a bit of what we expect from this Cesario. I mean, they haven't got the fresh engines in the car, but they've got they've got a very capable car around the corners. So sector 2 is very strong with them, and as you can see with the purple and Lucas Mono. So that'll be very interesting to see if they can manage to hold on the straight lines in the race, and if they can manage to make something special happen. Well, in the second sector.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to ask what would happen if they got a fresh engine. I mean, maybe they would compete for the first, let's say, 4 positions.
And maybe they're saving it up for Monza with the next race coming up.
That could be. I mean, it's their home race. They want to shine in Monza. But now, Axel Laflamme, after a good first sector, I think the second sector wasn't that good. So, is that Pascal Polens taking pole position? We will see in a few minutes.
It's close. It depends on how the last corner went. He has no slipstream for the whole straight, so that works against him. But is it enough? We'll have to say.
Axel Laflamme takes
it's a pole,
and now Puschke comes with 2 purple sectors.
Oh,
and takes pole. Yes, but Pascal Polens improvement in the first sector. I'm not sure if this will be enough. It don't seems like to be enough. Knežević in 4th place with 3/10 to Murnau, who is, as I'm seeing that, is already in the pits. So we won't see an improvement from him, but I think 5th position is more than damage limitation. Let's see if Pascal Polens has find some secret button or something in the last sector, but this is not the case. P3 for him, so like expected.
Wow. Gotta say, STMM showing up here as everyone expected, but still, it's good for the championship. On the other hand, like the gap, I mean, half a second to P4 from both of them, and Pascal Polens just about being able to keep up with them. That's something.
Great performance by the Potenza team as well in 6th and 7th place. So yeah. Yeah, the little sister of the SCMM team.
Yeah, and as qualifying is backing up now. Here's the order for the race. So we've got Philipp Puschke on P1 on pole with his teammate Axel Laflamme on 2nd. I just heard there's a penalty for Peckley. Pascal Polens on 3rd. That's the first Vanguard driver with his teammate Alexander Knežević on P4. Lucas Mono being P5 with Cesario. Both Potenzas, Leonardo Tonon on 6 and Diogo Meneghetti on 7th, and then both Lucky Hamish racing cars on 8 and 9th, with Curtis being the faster one of those two for now. Garo Peckley, we're expecting not to keep P10. I think it was a 5-place grid penalty, if I've understood that right, so it should be Dominic Ostermeier now on P10. Jose Soriano on 11. Dennis Weller on 12 and Ben Rieder on 13. I think then we've got Peckley with Joe Gillett on 15 and Gabriel Jobé on 16.
Yes, and missing is Paolo Vigliami, who is, I think, in 16th or 17th position. We will see. After a short break, we are back with the race.
Sorry everyone for waiting too long, but I hope you've got an ice cold drink in front of you because it's heating up in the Caspian Sea here. Will SCMM be able to keep the first 2 places in their grasp, or will Vanguard have something to say about that? We'll see. The drivers are preparing right now for the race start. We're expecting to start in around about 1 minute, and then we'll see what the drivers will do. Gloves are off. Michael, what do you expect? What are your expectations for the race?
Yeah, interestingly, I just had a short chat with Axel Laflamme, who told me that they didn't practice that much. That could be the reason why they are not that dominant. But well, they are very happy with P1 and P2. The Vanguards are very happy because they are much closer than they expected. They try to do something in the race, but I think at the moment, if they would finish in 3rd and 4th, they would take it. And then I just had the opportunity to talk with Rustermeier, who is now in 10th position because Peckley got the penalty. And he's very happy with that position, and he thinks that he performed better than Rot-Weiss Essen, who lost in the relegation game to the 2nd Bundesliga. So he's quite happy.
Well, doing better than them is that's definitely a good sign of things to come during the race here. It sounds good, and obviously SCMM doing what every top team does in our league here, and that is to keep expectations low. So yeah, not our job to do that. We want them to show the best sides of what the drivers can deliver. So yeah, it seems like every car is now on the grid, and we're just waiting for the red lights. There we go, 3, 4, 5th light is on, and here we go. As you can see, that's a big fight for P1 already, but it looks like one Vanguard already got into 2nd place. Pascal Podens actually in the lead, doesn't it? You went into the lead.
What happened there?
That's something.
Where was Puschke?
Yeah, it looked like the SCMMs just didn't get off the line at all.
Interestingly, but now they got the curse, the light curse version, and I think that was the reason why now Axel Laflamme retakes what is now his lead.
That's exactly what Vanguard would want to have done in the start. Get one of the cars in between those SCMMs so that they can't team up on them. That's definitely an improvement on what the qualifying positions at first suggested.
Definitely, as Lucas Mono could hold his 5th place despite going wide in that first lap, and Williami in the back won also 2 places. So yeah. These are the winners of the start, and we don't have any crash, as it seems. So that's positive, I guess.
That's very positive, actually. Yeah, I think we have to see when we get to the cars section for further. Actually, we've already passed the cars section. Wow, this lap goes fast. But yeah, also Rustermeier still on P10, so he's still in the points. And we've got Curtis on P6 at the moment. The Lucky Hamish cars are doing quite well.
Yes, he also gained 2 positions, I guess. Or 3. And now we see how slow Lucas Murno is on the straight, I guess. Look at that.
Oh boy, that's engine in that Cesario car. That's has had some better days, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was like getting passed by a train.
Surprising, but still here, the SCMMs and the Vanguards are having a real fight. So looks like the ingredients are set for the race.
Yeah, definitely. And look at that gap behind them then. The first 4, I think, yeah, Knezovic has a bigger gap to Puschke. But I think, yeah, the first 4 cars, well, maybe only the first 3, as I see this, are in a fight. And maybe, like Peter said before the race, the 4th place will be fought by 2 pairs of cars, and Alexander Knezovic plus Lucas Mono. Let's see. But Axel Laflamme now is pulling away because the other guys behind him are fighting, and this is his great chance to win maybe his 2nd race if this is going on like this.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Axel Flamme was never his speed. I mean, that was never in doubt. I mean, the pace that he can sometimes squeeze out of these cars is just absolutely incredible. And if you can just keep it together for the whole race, there's always a good chance of him actually delivering on something good and big. So, yeah, also more interesting for a championship with him being in, I think, P3, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, for Pushka, it's not really good.
Sorry, actually
because,
P5. I just wanted to correct that quickly.
Yeah. But for Pushka, it's not really good. But now he's trying to overtake, and it would be interesting to see where he's using Curse. If he's using now after he passed to defend, or was he using it to overtake? We don't know that, but it seems like he's putting away there in the after the corner, and this is a fight for P9. And I can tell you, Mark, that there could be a penalty for Danny Weller, but I'm not sure yet. We will hear from that. But I saw on the second screen, where I have the race director screen, that they were looking into it.
Yes, Ben Rida is also fighting here with Danny Weller. It's really close between those Peter Julius and Weller. And here he's going for the pass, late on the brakes, and they're giving themselves space.
Right.
Strong but fair racing as he's trying to do it around the outside, which becomes the inside here, and looks like a good overtake, doesn't it? Oh, you see, he's squeezing to the wall.
He shouldn't do that. Now free cars, that will not work, I guess. Oh dear.
What's going on there? Cars here. Yeah, and that's the castle section. There was a touch there, wasn't it? Danny Weller touching Soriano there.
Yeah, that was. And look at Williami, he can follow them because. Oh, and there is maybe an engine issue there.
Yeah, look at that. There's some oil or at least some smoke coming out of that engine.
Yeah, now it's. Maybe it's a cooling problem because now it stopped. So this could be the best case. But if this is happening in lap 3, that's not a good sign.
It really isn't a good sign. Oh, I see. I think he's lost a car, hasn't he? Soriano's lost a car.
Has he? Oh, yeah.
I think he has. Yeah, he's dropped back.
Oh, and he has not a front wing anymore. So
yeah, that's a shame as the other two cars are coming back, and now we're getting a replay of what's happened. So there's an incident between Krisenovic and another driver, and there was no further action.
Okay, as we can't see what was happening with the Soriano, but I guess that he just spun. And we saw then the two Apex cars. They are now in P14 and P15, while I guess that Gillette also has a problem because he is 42 seconds behind the leader. I think there should be something like an incident.
It definitely looks like it. Like 13 seconds behind the next car. That's definitely something that has happened there. Yeah. I think both of them, Gillette and Soriano, will hope that that the safety car will come later during the race, and that's something that is a high possibility around this place, isn't it?
Yeah, and there was a mistake by Harley Self, and now he's getting under pressure from Diego Meneghetti. And look at Moro, despite having the pace, he's passed, I guess, on the straights, and then he cannot repass in the corners, and that's why he's now only in P7 at the moment.
Yeah, that's where that engine disadvantage comes to play around a place like this. But have to see us. Actually, Curtis is going all the way up to P5 now, so doing really well in that car.
Yes, definitely. And his teammate is now completely under pressure by Meneghetti, and I guess Meneghetti will try to pass him here.
And past he goes, past Ali Self. He's now dropping back to P9. Ostermeyer also not too far away, so he might be looking for a few more points to scavenge in this race. We'll have to see what's going on here during this race. And I can just see like the gaps in it at the front now is starting to expand with 2 seconds, with Laflamme having 2 seconds on Pushka and then another 2 seconds to Paulins. They're playing. It looks like they're playing a long game.
Yeah, and he's not that much quicker, but he set the fastest lap, so he's pulling away in little steps. But he seems to be quick enough to extend the gap, the lap. I wanted to say the gap, and yeah, that's also the case between the two Vanguard cars. And I guess if this is continuing like this, maybe Curtis is able to follow Knežević and hold the gap, while Knežević is losing on Poland. So there could be the two guys fighting for P4. At the moment, it seems like this.
And maybe with Tina Curtis as a as we've got a car in the wall.
Yeah, here the car, I don't know who it is, has no front wing. It's Daniel Bentonreader.
Bentonreader. So the
Yeah,
other
that's-
Beta Julia car now also in the wall, which
And that means a pit stop, of course, and maybe a bit of an advantage now in the third sector, but then a pit stop which will cost him a minimum of, I guess, 25 to 30 seconds with that front wing change.
as we now go on board with Diego Meneghetti, who's in the Potenza, also fighting for P8 here with Hardy Self, and just keeping up. And they are quite similar on top speed pace, so it seems like they've got sort of similar setups here. The Potenza just slightly faster on a straight line, so I have to see what if that maybe comes to. So I'm just hearing penalty for Daniel Bentonreader, 10 seconds.
Alles klar.
And just here to quickly have a look on the driver standings before this race, after the sixth race in Istanbul. So that's the standings at the moment. As you can see, STMM obviously interested in moving up against Vanguard, with Vanguard still only being 15 points ahead, with Pascal Bruins in the lead. Alexander Knežević with 46 points, a little bit behind, not having the luck that he needs. But in both cases, the Vanguard drivers ahead of the SCMMs, which is very important for in terms of the championship.
And the question also is, as we saw that the amount of points Axel Laflamme has is like half the points, a bit less than half the points Pushke has. And the question is he allowed to win this race? I mean, it's a big question, because at the end of the year there will be a fight for the championship maybe between Philipp Pushke and Pascal Polens, and if a driver is that clear to his teammate, and I mean, we are like nearly at half of the season. It's not like it's race 2, so I don't know what the team will decide there.
But that there's a question there for you, Michael, because you are a team principal, aren't you? How would you deal with a situation like that? Because obviously, I mean, it's still before. We haven't had the summer break yet. There's still half the season in front of you. I would question if that was even a conversation yet.
Yeah, I mean, if I would be for info, I have a few stakes of teams, but they are that far back that I haven't the privilege to talk about or think about that. But as I would be in this situation, I guess it would be, from a team perspective, it would be not the cleverest thing to just letting Axel win this race, to be honest with you. But I know that this is an opinion which is not very popular, I guess. But if I would be a team principal, I would have asked me that question before this race.
I mean, I'm not a team principal, but I would definitely decide to let them just race. But that's obviously as a viewer and in this case a commentator and someone who's neutral and just wants to see some good racing. But obviously, yeah, with teams you have certain interests that you want to support.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. And one thing we have to know about Lucas Mono also is I got the information before the race that they think that he will getting quicker as long as the race is going on, because the Cesario engine is not only weak today because it is used a lot of times compared to the engines of the other guys, But also it is very thirsty, and that means that he has to take more fuel with him, and that means that this disadvantage will disappear to the end of the race. So maybe if we see that he is now able to follow Tonon, he might have a chance to push for P5 at the end of the race. I think there are only 4 seconds. So let's see. Maybe we can see Lucas Murno getting quicker and quicker during the race.
I certainly hope so. Considering that during last race he finished P2, and so Lucas Murno isn't completely out of the championship race, though he's quite a bit behind now on points, but never ruled him out. I mean, he's been there. He's done it for a couple of seasons now already. He's been in the title fights, so never someone to ignore.
Yeah, and he nearly won Canada by a complete surprise to everybody. So yeah. Never say never, and guess what's happening if there's some mistake in front and there's maybe a safety car. So he's right into the mix. He's 16 seconds behind the lead. So I think that's a very good race once again from him. Even compared with his teammate who is in P12 at the moment.
Yeah, that was actually quite an interesting graph that came out lately, and on the comparisons between the teammates of different teams. And there are quite a few teams that have had quite big gaps, but also quite a few teams who've had very similar paces between the drivers. Just trying to remember which drivers those were.
Yeah, and, interestingly, Alexander Knežević, who took pole in the first race, is one of the guys with the biggest gap. Now we can argue that he is driving against one of the quickest drivers in this league, so he has a big of a job doing by keeping up with Pascal Polens. But we see it also here in the race. I mean, Pascal Polens is driving, let's say, nowhere. He's not quick enough to follow SCMM, but he has a big gap to his teammate, who is fighting for P4 with the cars behind. So I guess that he might, I know him pretty long, that he might not push to the absolute maximum at the moment, because he might knew that there is a bit more in this car and that he cannot fight or don't want to fight with Pascal Polens. So he's one of these drivers who then settle in and just drive as fast as they can without being in the zone of making maybe a mistake. But yeah, let's see how this will develop. And now we've got the yellow flag, but it's already gone.
Yeah, as you mentioned it, I mean, these cars also around Baku have been known to not be as reliable as you might think. I mean, last season we've had a lot of brake failures towards the end of the race. I think we've had 1 or 2 engine failures last season as well around this track. And I mean, if I know one thing about Alexander Knežević, then that he's quite a smart driver. So
yes,
maybe he's
definitely
thinking here in the long run.
Definitely, yeah. He's one of the drivers who has a good racecraft, and this is definitely the case. And Leonardo Tonon still in the 6th position, which would be absolutely fantastic for Potenza.
Yeah, as well as like for lucky Hamish Racing in P5. It's you've got a few dark horses in this race here who are showing themselves to be a bit of a threat towards those big teams.
And also pace-wise, they are very close to Alexander Knežević. So yeah, as we mentioned, maybe Knežević is not driving as fast as he could, but they keep the gap at the moment.
Yeah, so you just mentioned another thing I just realized is like no Holland Racing today.
Yes, they are both. It seems like on holidays. I know that Jannis Wolbon has a private thing to do.
He's getting a warning for an accident with Weller.
Penalty for Weller.
Yep, just continue with what you just said about Holland.
Jannis has a private thing to do, and The other guy, his new teammate, yeah, I don't know why he's not here, but they are both not here, and yeah, maybe it's for them. It's not that yeah, that horrible, because I don't think that the track would suited their car. So maybe, yeah, they are happy that it is this track where they can't race.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I mean, if you look at the team standings at the moment, it's interesting because in front of Lucky Hamish Racing and Potenza Esports, there's Bravo Snow Shutness, Beta Julia, who've up until now already had two incidents and are right at the back of the grid at the moment, and in Holland as well. So there's potentially two teams who might become a threat later towards the season. Especially against teams like Holland as well. So races that you need to take.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, this is yeah, not a like professional league, so it's always in the summer. It's pretty normal that there are races, especially when the hot months are coming, and before and after the summer break. Also, we will see that where people just are busy with other things. For example, driving into holidays or something, and that's pretty normal. And I think yeah, this is let's say normal in a league like that. But let's go back to the race, as we see that Tonon is now yeah, seems to be much quicker at the moment, or yeah, he can close the gap to Curtis.
Yeah, it seems like on the last lap they were quite similar on pace, actually almost identical. So yeah, they're giving each other a good fight. We'll have to see if, which of those two teams will come up in front. Obviously, those two teams on the same points as well in the constructors at the moment. So very important points for both teams indeed.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Tina Curtis had a very good race. I remember last year, I think it was the last race in Brazil, where she got that, yeah, very good position. And now again in P5, that could, and I'm not sure, but I think that could maybe match the position, or was it even a podium? I'm not remembering exactly, but it should be one of the best positions. Yeah. She ever was.
Yeah, showing that even those smaller teams can move up in the rankings in our league, even if especially when the drivers are having such a good performance like Tina is having at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, also still on the battle for P8 with Harley Self and Diego Meneghetti. But I think that this gap is very stable at the moment.
It just needs a mistake though. I mean, this track with that long back straight, if you just get into that slipstream, it can get very, very tasty for the driver who's behind. So that looked like a mistake there, didn't it, for Harley Self? So yeah, look at the gap. It just
yes. Yeah,
dropped.
Diego Meneghetti could be able to get a nice tow then, and maybe out of the slipstream overtake into the first corner if he can stay close now, which he tries by braking very late.
Yes, Meneghetti, you can really see like Meneghetti really being very careful over the curb there, whereas Harley Self was just absolutely going over that thing there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe they are what this is about on complete different setups. And even here you saw how close the back straight is to the start-finish straight. It's interesting
to see that. But it's not enough yet, but there's still another straight coming around the next two 90-degree left turns.
And maybe for people who are not watching all the time, there's no DRS, even if the sign says it. And both of them don't have curse, so they are fighting with completely equal, yeah, guns. I don't think that you are saying that in English. they are fighting on equal terms, I would say.
Yes, I just heard like with Potenza as well. Just heard that apparently they have curse, so you can also use that as a defense tool. So
The Potenza has curse. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's yeah, Potenza has curse. You're right. They have the same, I guess, than SCMM.
Yeah. Which
so
is,
they have the light curse. They have the light curse then. Yeah. So that's interesting. So they are not fighting with equal, with equal material. So yeah, let's see. Maybe that could make a difference.
I mean, it is a bit mean, isn't it? Though I mean, if you've got that button there, you can click just to overtake someone, but you can also use it to defend, and that's actually the same issue that Vanguard has with SCMM as well, because Vanguard hasn't got a curse either, have they?
Yes, which is in this race, it seems like it's not making a difference, but
saying that though, he's catching. He's catching.
Yeah.
Didn't think about it yet, but it wasn't much missing there.
Oh, and
he's losing the car.
And that looked like that was over braking on the rear. So
yeah, it was a rear lockup, wasn't it?
But was that like a driver mistake, or is that something that we saw in the past? Because last year a lot of drivers had brake issues. I don't know if this could be the case. So completely, there are two options. The first one is he completely misjudged his braking and then overbraked on the rear, or there is some kind of issue.
Maybe either, but maybe the brake balance was just a bit too far into the rear. I mean, as we just hear that there's a slow car on sector 2.
Yeah, and this is putting now Vela back in contention for this last point, and even Gillette and Soriano, they are fighting here. So let's see how this works out, because Self has the problem that he has to do a lot of.
As and this is Apex cars,
this is interesting. The gap is down to 4 tenths. Oh my god, what was that from? I guess Williami.
I think it was Williami, yeah. Yeah, that's turn 2 is starting to become a bit of a nemesis for everyone with the rear lockups.
That was a pretty weird situation with 2 lapped or going to be lapped Apex and 2 SCMMs who are now only 1 second, split it by 1 second, and I guess it's the old problem of Axel Flam, and now, even Axel Flam is only in second now, so Pushke now overtook him.
Yes, I just want to throw in as well that Axel Makmizovic already in the pits.
Or did he let him pass? I'm not sure, because he's already behind, I guess. And now it's slow car sector 2, I guess this is Williami. So we don't know exactly when they switched positions. But yeah, it seemed like that Axel Flam was losing pace in that last laps.
Now that's the question. Is that exactly the topic that we mentioned earlier, that they are thinking about the long-term championship chances here, or is it something with the car?
Could be both, but it could also be the natural problem of Axel Flam that he has a lot higher tire degradation than his teammate. That was, I think the whole season it was like this. But he was dropping pace fast. I remember I was looking 3 or 4 laps ago on that gap, and that was pretty solid then. So and Apex now is doing a double pit stop after that hairy situation with the 2 SCMMs.
Yeah, those two seem to be quite happy with just racing each other at the moment.
Yeah, he has to wait now. Look at that. That's
Oh, that's.
And they try now to do a double pit stop, but is it working? No, it's not working. So.
Team coordination there just completely falling apart.
But both has damage. it seems, because the stop of Choubet was extremely long.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's an absolute disaster for those two.
But they, on the other hand, they have to survive the race. But now they lost all the positions. They lost because they won because of the mistakes of the others. But yeah, interesting. That's not how to double stack, I guess.
No, not really. But they probably have their reasons.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, Williami couldn't continue without front wing. That's for sure. But why the stop of Choubet was taking so long? That's the question. But well, that's I think, yeah. To be honest, they are far off pace, which is not driver related. Only the car simply very slow. And now Axel Laflamme is going for the pit stop, and I guess it's an early pit stop and not an attempt to undercut his teammate, because I guess he got the same problem like always, that he might have a higher tire degradation than the others.
Now, the interesting question is, will he be behind Knežević or in front of him? Because I think before the pit stops, it was only a couple of seconds between them, but Knežević already had his pit stop. So the question will be, is the undercut powerful here or not? And the answer is not strong enough, apparently, as Laflamme is rejoining P5 in front of Mono, and Knežević is actually quite a bit further behind.
Yes.
Still another 20 seconds behind. Would be interesting to know what exactly happened there.
Yeah, and this has put Tonon now in 4th position and Curtis in 3rd position. So if there's a safety car or anything now, they could have a big advantage of, for example, a safety car in 4 or 5 laps. I don't know how long they can continue. So this is always a game in Baku which you can play. If you got a gap behind or you only lose 1 position because you're getting undercut, you could continue the stint if you can, and then just try to hang around and wait for the safety car or something.
I mean, Micho, to be quite honest, as a neutral viewer, I'd really like a safety car right now. Not for the driver who's going to have to end his race. Hopefully, he wouldn't enter anyone's race, but just for the sake of racing, because seeing two cars who normally don't play against those top teams like Vanguard and SCMM, to have them both at the front there at the moment, it's superb. Not only for the viewing, but also for the league altogether. Seeing 2 new drivers fighting it out.
Yeah, definitely. While Williami has retired at the moment, so only 16 drivers in this race. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's such a shame for the Apex squad as well. Having such a struggle with this race. Hopefully they'll come back stronger in Monza when we come back there in a couple of weeks' time.
I mean, they have like a low downforce rear wing, but in Austria, for example, they tried to drive it and they both said it's undrivable. So let's see what happens in Monza.
We'll have to see, yeah. Both tracks not too different. I mean, yeah, okay, Baku has got a bit more of a complicated sector too, where a downforce definitely does matter. But in terms of like the straight line speeds that you need on both tracks are very, very similar in that regard. So kind of a bit of a preview on what we could expect next race.
Yeah, interesting is also at the moment Pascal Pollens can match the times of Philipp Puschke. So they are both going like 140.3. So they are not far away from their best lap
the car there. Oh.
In case of Pascal Pollens, while Axel Laflamme is now driving his first lap after the pit stop, and yeah, I can tell you that he is at the moment on a not so bad lap, and will.
Look at that speed difference on the straight line. Wow, that's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe see if Tina thinks differently about who you are taking him. She definitely does. I mean, she hasn't had a pit stop yet, so it's probably not worth it to fight. And just think ahead towards your real fight, which is Tonon just behind her.
Yeah, and Axel Laflamme is doing 39.9. Maybe he was a bit, hold up by Tina in the second sector, but then he drove the fastest last sector, which is clear.
It will be
Why.
interesting to see with pit stop strategies. I mean, at the moment it looks like the top two and a couple more drivers are looking at a one-stop, but the majority of the teams have decided to go for which looks like more like a two-stop strategy. So, have you heard anything from the
if you
teams?
can drive more than 20 laps in the first stint, I guess it's possible to drive with a much lighter car after that. It's possible to go to the end then, but the question will be if there's a safety car or something. It will depend on when this is happening, and now with 30 laps to go, if you can continue 2 or 3 laps, it's pretty safe that you can do that one-stop strategy. But if somebody then is in front of you because he undercutted you with a 2-stop, and then the safety car comes out, you have a big problem. Then you have to go in to cover the tire advantage the others will have, or you have to stay out and try to hold your position. That's a problem then. While Axel Aflam now is doing the quickest lap of all, a 39.3. Just for comparison, this is 2 tenths quicker than the fastest lap of his teammate. But he's on new tires.
Yeah, but also he's second faster than both drivers in front of him at the moment on their last laps. So
Yes.
He's well, I was going to say that he's reclaiming that gap, but he just lost his car again. So he's really trying to push at the moment. Shows that he's willing to fight for against the top two at the moment. I think he thinks he might have a chance.
Yeah, I think if he's on the 2-stop, I think he fights against Pascal Polens for P2. But if I don't think that he can, like, oh, there's somebody in the wall. There's somebody in the wall. Seems like
I think it was Julia, wasn't it?
Daniel Wettenrieder.
Wettenrieder, yeah.
But he can continue, so let's see what happened there.
Interesting to see. It looks okay right here at the moment. You're now getting.
It's happened after this interesting corner here. Yeah, he just went in too fast.
The rear grip just disappeared. It was as if it just disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, he has not that much to win in this race. I mean, he has to depend on people retiring. Otherwise, he won't score any points today. That's for sure. While Pascal Polens now did a 40.3 again. And but Axel Laflamme, interestingly, is only doing a 40.2.
I think that was the mistake that he had in the last lap as well. So
okay.
That would probably be about a second, and he's at the same lap time on the last lap. So
yeah, but what is interesting that Knežević is doing a 40.9. I mean, he has fresher tires, and he is like 6 tenths slower than the leading pair. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see. Maybe you just said maybe him just playing a long game, or maybe not being quite as happy with a city circuit. I mean, that's another subject for its own. But there's lots of drivers who really they flourish around city tracks like this, like temporary tracks where you have to get really close to the walls. And then there's other drivers who much prefer getting close to the gravel on a classic racetrack like, let's say, Spa.
Yeah, definitely. Tina Curtis, because we see now that Tonon is behind her. I got the information, which I forgot, before she had that great performance in the last race last year in Brazil. She had a 3rd place in Spa when she was driving Vanguard as an replacement driver. So P3 is the best result she ever had, but I think in this car, P4 would be the best position.
Just shows what she's capable of. So,
yes, definitely. And now Axel Aflam did an 38.8, so it's quite interesting. He is. I mean, now he's only 2/10 quicker than Knežević. Knežević now doing a 40.0, so maybe he was in traffic or something.
Yeah, very interesting to see. I mean, saying that, I think it's 1.2 seconds actually. Laflamme is fast at the moment. He's actually on 1.7 seconds faster than either of the top 2 drivers at the moment. So he's catching up, and
he definitely is on a 2-stop.
Prudence, it's he's really giving it all at the moment, pushing all the qualifying laps out. And the other interesting fight still remaining between Curtis and Tonon for that P4 at the moment. Saying that though, they are on a 1-stop. Knežević is on a 2-stop. Will be interesting to see how that pans out towards the end of the race. And Mono still just being in a sandwich there between just struggling to hold on to those other 2 drivers at the moment. So that's Cesario car definitely really struggling around this track at the moment.
Yes, while Pascal Polen's now taking the pit stop, and this is definitely now enough. Lap 24 to do 1-stop. Which they do, we have to explain, on the soft tires. So everyone is on the soft tires because the tire manufacturers, really be very conservative on the hard tires. So everyone is struggling to get them working, but they want to improve them. So after the summer break, we guess that there is a big performance boost for them. They are trying here and there, but nobody is using them. So I think after the summer break, we will see hard tires also.
Yeah, especially with the temperatures we've got at the moment. So with 22 degrees only around this track at the moment, it's not as warm as you would like for a hard tire, is it?
Yes, so I guess so. And that could be the possibility for 1-stop, because I guess if there would be 34 degrees, they wouldn't do a 1-stop.
Very probably not. Yeah, that's a good point you make there. As we watch Alexander Knežević going through the Picasso section here.
Yeah, he's now 8/10 quicker than Puške and Polenz, you can say, in the last lap. And Polenz now, on the new tires. And he's 14 seconds. Let's see. Let's have a look. 12 seconds he's behind Laflamme. So he might be a bit quicker now, because now he's got the fresh tires. So Laflamme, if he's really on a 2-stop, he has really to push in this last stint to get Polenz back.
And now he's got the clean air as well, being just having taken a lead of the race, Puške going into the pits.
And Polenz, there he comes. But it's not enough to get close to Puške. So good for him. And there was a bit of that was not really good.
Snap line, wasn't it? That was
Gillette. Maybe he was like, it seems like he wanted to let him through, but
it's an interesting case. I mean, a blue flag situation. It's because I think I couldn't see any blue flags showing up there at the moment as well. We've lately had a lot of problems with the systems showing the blue flags to the drivers, and the race control has been asking kindly for every driver to actually look in the mirror more and not only at the flags, but obviously when you're concentrating on performing as good at the best as you can, getting those blue lights flashing obviously helps you out a lot. So. It's interesting. As Daniel Bentenrieder just got a penalty from the in-game system here. So
guess it was speeding then or something.
Very much probably, yeah. So the day for Bitter Julia just getting worse. And it looks very much like that. Him getting a penalty as he left the pit lane. So it's probably.
Okay. So he drove over the line, but I think this is okay. So maybe as he entered the pit.
It's probably was pit entry then, Something that's very difficult for us to see, obviously, but there are sensors at the pit entrance and actually a radar across the whole pit lane that measures how fast you are going. And if you overspeed, then obviously that triggers an automatic penalty, which the race control has no control over. So they are not allowed to intervene with that. That's a fully automatic system.
Yes.
So shame for Bentenrieder.
Well, Tina Curtis now taking the pit stop, and yeah, interestingly, Pascal Polens in this last lap was not quicker than Axel Laflamme. Laflamme was quicker by 3/10.
One was just coming just behind Curtis there. So those two getting quite close. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3 again.
Yeah. Oh my god! Yeah.
And that was
And
obvious.
there's
Full
the
course
call
yellow.
for full course yellow, and that's Harley self, and that could have destroyed his race, because this is a major accident. What the hell was going on there?
A massive one, yeah. You can see we're coming into the sector 3 now, the last corner before the straight line. There's already a car sitting there, and
oh my god, debris all over the place, and he just, oh my god.
He just went over the rear wing and just flew over the rear wing right into the guardrail there.
Who is that actually? Is that
That's
a Beta
Daniel.
Julia?
That's
It's
Benrieder,
Benrieder, yes.
So yeah, that's
unbelievable.
That's so. Oh, I really feel for self
But
there.
what happened there? Is it maybe? I mean, can you?
Let's just talk through it. So he's going for the last corner. He's probably losing the car on the. No, he's actually going over the curb, loses control, going into the wall, destroys the car. Engine goes off, and then we'll probably see Harley Self in a second, jumping over that front wing or rear wing, which is still on the track.
Yeah, I think first this is an AR.
And also an Apex car as well, wasn't it? So yeah, that's definitely a full course yellow. I think we're expecting a safety car here probably as well, because the marshals won't be able to clear that up quickly. So
I can tell you that 3 guys are in the pits: Harley Self, Danny Weller, and Gabriel Joubert. And here we see Harley Self. I think even if they can repair it, I guess he will have not the greatest day after that.
But this is a nightmare for Laflamme, isn't it? I mean, he's on a 2-stop. As we just get a call that the safety car will be this will be upgraded to a virtual safety car.
And Axel Laflamme is now going to pit, and then I think he's trying to go through. And the question now is he able to get out of the pit before Pascal Polens, or even before Puschke? And you see the result. He's still in first place.
With fresh tires now, obviously, but again, like he has been known to destroy his tires. So, is this too early for him? Can he go the length with those tires, or will he have to take another pit stop? That will be the very interesting question here. So, it could go either way, really. Will be interesting to know.
But you have to mention that he now in lap 26 he has got the new tires, and Poland's got the new tires in lap 23. So
another question as well is, like, this will probably take like 1 or 2 laps to clear. So we'll be probably starting the race again in lap 28 or 29, somewhere around there.
Also yes.
So that's 21 laps to go for Laflamme.
Yes, and now Knežević and Tonon are also in the pits, and Tina Curtis, I think, loses out to both of them. Yeah, to both of them.
Knežević is in the pits very long there. He's still standing, it looks like.
And because of that, she's going to pit, and that's pretty clever. Also, Murno is coming in. I think everyone has to come in, because it doesn't make any sense to stay out at this point.
Yeah, you're probably right here with that assumption. It's just a free pit stop, and if you're losing, you'll be losing out even more if you just didn't use this moment to get some new boots.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that long in pits, like, look at the time from Joubert, how long he's in pit. I mean, I think even if he now can lap back one time, I think he's then 2 laps down. So.
My question as well is Knežević still in the pits? Our display,
I don't think that this is correct, to be honest with you, because on the other screen he's already left the pits. Maybe we can see that. Where is Alexander Knežević?
It'll be interesting to see. I'm guessing he still hasn't lost the position, so I suppose that is just a glitch.
Maybe we can search him with the.
So what else? Rustemeyer now on P8 as well, so he seems to have gained. Meneghetti, I think, not sure if he's gained. I'm not sure where he was before. I think he was a bit further ahead, so he might have lost out here as well. So definitely hard himself with not having done anything wrong really, except for having driven over that rear wing, which was in the middle of the road there, and just being launched into the guardrail. Absolute disaster for his race, obviously. Yeah, we'll have to see how this race will pan out from now on. Tonnen obviously really lucky to have stayed in P4 here. Curtis losing out the P6 now. They still would be a good result for the Lucky Hamish squad. Obviously, with Potenza being one of their main rivals in the Constructors' Championship, that's a real blow for them. I'll have to say. As still waiting for everyone to join back up to the grid.
So I wasn't sure if I saw that correctly, but now we know that Philip Puschke was not driving through the pit lane, and that could handing him a penalty. So that's an interesting information from Race Direction I got.
Now the question will be: was the timing? When was the safety car called out? Because or the virtual safety car called out. If he has done that while it was called out, then he will probably be just about safe.
Yeah, because the call was wait for my call. I don't think that in this stage it was called. So let's see what's happening.
I mean, very interesting to see, because this could have massive implications for the race. I mean, once again, like Laflamme has struggled against his teammate, and he really needs to throw a punch against him, back against him, to show
now
to the team that
he's... I think now Laflamme is going not through the pit lane. Have I seen it right? I saw a yellow car not going through the pit lane, and now Philip Puschke is going through the pit lane. But I saw a yellow car going normally.
As the race is now being upgraded to virtual safety cars, so everyone will have to. So the leader will have to leave the pit limiter in, and everyone else will be rejoining right behind him, so they'll be able to go full speed to rejoin with Axel Laflamme right to the front. It's obviously not something that you would like to see at the moment, but
I just have to ask what happened there now. We'll be back in a second.
It'll be very interesting to hear. With both SCMM drivers, it seems, may have not played according to the rules here in regards, which could end up with penalties for both drivers, which would really play into the hands of Vanguard, obviously, and everyone behind them as well, because with the safety car out now, all the gaps have closed down. So any penalty now would have drastic measures for the race, depending on how large that penalty would be if they do get them. That will be the question that everyone will, race control will have to answer if there was foul play or if everything went according to the rule book. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it seems like that Axel Laflamme did the same mistake one lap later.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good, does it?
That's pretty interesting, because this 5-second penalty, I don't think strategy-wise they will have a chance if everything goes normal to serve them, so they will keep them, and that means that we always have to keep in mind that they both might have a 5-second penalty. But we will wait for the call of the race direction, and then we will know.
That will be the question. Like how, I think up until now it was always dealt with in a quite lenient way, since it was still a new rule that was implemented. But as far I can't remember what penalties were given out last time that had happened, or if maybe the race control will decide to be a bit more strict with this, since we are already, well, not quite, but getting there to halfway through the season where everyone should know this rule by now.
I guess in Malaysia it was the first time where it was handled, and I guess there were 5-second penalties, but let's see what's happening.
That would be very interesting, though, because that would mean Vanguard is still in a shot for this. I don't think any of the other teams will be able to keep up with the SCMM pace.
Yeah, the
But,
only one who's got a chance is Pascal Polans.
But this is a big blow for SCMM if this will end up with penalties, because they need to close this gap to Vanguard, and with especially now where they've got an upgraded car, they need to show something for it as well. As we're now starting the unlapping procedure for all the cars that have been lapped already. So
yes,
let's
and
let
just for the record, these pit these pit times there in the tower, they are obviously wrong. So, as I said, Choubet, if he's that long in pits, it won't get him any advantage to lap back one time. But he will be in the, I guess he will be in the same lap than the leader. So also him, if there is a mistake, people crashing into each other, he's still got a chance to maybe score a point here, because only 5 guys are in front of him.
Yeah, that's true. So there's still lots to play for here, especially now with the pack being bunched up together again. So it just needs one little mistake in the first lap here, and it could cost you loads of places. So very important laps coming up as soon as the back markers have rejoined the pack from the back, which should take around about a lap. So we'll probably see a restart in about in 2 laps time. So at lap 30, depending on what race control obviously does. They still have they might have a backlog of incidents to look at, and it sounds like a safety car, a perfect opportunity for them to keep the backlog or to go through the backlog, so that we don't have to deal with post-race penalties, which is obviously something that nobody enjoys. We want to see racing being done on the track.
Yeah, interestingly now, Tonon is allowed to go back and forth position. I don't know what this is about.
So there we have it, 5-second time penalty for both SCM drivers and Choubet for not driving through the safety, through the pit lane during a full course yellow or virtual safety car. So there we have it, 5 seconds. Which I can imagine Kevin Peters, the boss of Vanguard, and the rest of the team being very, very glad about at the moment, and just gleaming at the chance of maybe still winning this race.
Yeah, and one thing is now a bit strange. I guess Choubet is now in the pits for real, and he's doing a pit stop. So I don't know if they allow him then to get back on the field. It depends when they will restart the race. We don't heard anything right now, so I guess it will be another lap, and then it's not a problem. But
yeah, we'll have to see. It's the race control decides to do here. Obviously, they try to get us back into the race as quick as they can, but they obviously also have their own duties to fulfill to make this a fair race. So we'll just patiently wait for them to get on with their backlog. So we're expecting a 20 lap sprint here, maybe, depending on if anyone still needs a pit stop or not. But I don't know. What do you say? Should anyone still pit, or is this nonsensical at this point?
well, I mean, now the pack is bunched up. The only guys who could pit is maybe Gillette and Packley, but because they don't lose anything or not much. But I will be back in a second, because I got the message from race control. They want to tell me what happened with Tonon, so I'm back in like 1 minute.
So yeah, we will be getting some news on that in a second. As our correspondent, Michael here is trying to get some of that juicy information for us. And yeah, this will be. I can just imagine the adrenaline going through everyone at the moment here. With when you're on the grid, pit limiter in, you have got lots of time to think about what you want to do, and or how you might want to defend or attack, and what is at stake as well. So yeah. As Michael comes back, and do you have any information?
Yeah. So I've got two information. The first one is the safety car will be called in. Let's say it like this. So no safety car after that lap. So it will be a sprint of like 20 laps then to the end. And the second information is that the race direction did something they shouldn't do, and they thought it was unfair then, because and this is the confirmation from race control that the safety car will end. They called the focus yellow exactly in the moment where Tonon was right on the pit entry. So they gave him now the position back. He lost because the call was made at this moment, because they should have waited a moment or should have done it before, they told me. So they just corrected something. They changed it.
Okay, so that explains at least what's been going on there. That's good to hear. The race control has had the time and chance to correct on a mistake that happens. I mean, that's something that I myself know as doing race control myself occasionally. That's a rule that sometimes is a bit difficult and complicated to get right, as they've got so many drivers going across the whole lap, and you've got lots of things happening. Obviously, they get all the information for all kinds of people, or sometimes even some managers of race teams complaining to them about something, because everyone wants their best results, and they'll obviously try to complain about anything just to make sure that they get the best results. So nothing unfair about it. It's just part of the game, and things like that happen. But they've corrected it, so that's good to hear.
Yeah, definitely. And another difficult task, besides being in race control, is to do a restart probably good and in a fashioned way that you have an advantage. If you are Axel Laflamme, your best case is that you got 8 or 9 tenths between you and the second car. The second car is his teammate who is fighting for the championship. So I'm pretty interested if they are trying to coordinate that to, caught Pascal Poland's napping. Let's see if this is happening.
I mean, just as a reminder, overtaking is not allowed before the start-finish line. So whoever gets caught napping, everyone behind also loses out. So you don't want to be that guy.
Yes, definitely. And if the guy in front of you is not driving into the wall, then you can't pass him. So that's a problem, as you told. So, and now I guess it's pretty early that he's going for it. Yeah, he did it out of the last real corner, if we don't call this what is going on here, corners. And Pascal Poland's will get a bit under pressure, I think, by Tonon. Look at that.
He's getting really close, isn't he? He's already good defending here. Tonon looking to the right and thinking better of it.
Yep, and Pushke passed Laflamme. I'm not sure if this was a pass or this was a wave by. I'm not sure, but I think now the result is like it's good for Pushke in the championship.
Yeah, so maybe will be interesting to hear after the race, maybe if there's any teamsmanship going on there, or if that was just a simple case of Pushke just being faster. I mean, considering That's always the thing, especially when you're coordinating things like that, which they may or may not have done, but if you're P2 and you've got that slipstream down the straight there, that's an easy pass. With P1 obviously not having the slipstream, so always something to think about when those things go on. As you see Tina Curtis fighting with Mono here for P6 still. Mono obviously trying to limit the damage as much as he can during this race.
Yes, and a short thing for the director. There's the safety car sign. Yes,
as we see Harley Self here, really close behind Soriano. He's like right on his tail here, so we might see something happening to T1, maybe even beforehand. As they're going side by side here.
Yeah, it's maybe bad being that close too early, because now, he has a problem. Yeah, not with the Snapline, I guess, or with the Beta Julia, but with another car behind him, he would have got the problem that he is re-overtaken because of the slipstream. So at the moment in front, we see that the SCM's pulling away, but at the moment they would finish behind Pascal Bullets.
Yeah,
obviously.
Remember that they've got both have a 5-second time penalty, so that will also be an interesting thing. What do you think if Vanguard manages to stay inside those 5 seconds for a long time? Do you think they might use La Flamme to keep Pushka from keep his first place?
Yeah, that's the question. If this is necessary, if they can pull away, everything is good. But if the gap is not big enough and La Flamme would finish behind Poland's anyway, and it would be tight for Pushka, I guess the best thing they could do is to use La Flamme to make Poland's lose a bit of time, for sure. But because at the end of the day, La Flamme has nothing to lose then, because if Poland's is overtaking him on track, it's the same result than if he's finishing 4 seconds with a 4 seconds gap. So I guess yes, if they can't pull away enough, they might think about that. Yes.
Yeah, as we see now, Harley Self getting really close to Wustermeier here. This looks like an easy overtake, but will Wustermeier be able to slingshot back past before the end of the straight line? Don't forget, that's a long straight here. And Wustermeier is keeping on, but he's thinking better of it, it seems like. Maybe trying to do something into turn 2 or even turn 3. Remember, there's another straight line coming. So that fight isn't completely over just yet. But we'll have to see. It doesn't look like it at the moment. So, Harley Self, going up to P9.
Yes, while Soriano is in P12. I guess if he can stay there, he has a good chance, with a bit of luck, to just get 1 point or something. So he should stay in this position and try to keep up with the guys in front of him, even if they got a bit of a better pace. And while we see Diogo Meneghetti in P7, so at the moment P4 and P7.
He's really holding up Mono at the moment, it looks like, or was that just a mistake? We'll have to see. He's gone wide again.
Mono is much quicker, but the old problem is that he can't pass on the straight. And
that's a good point. Yeah,
he will put him under massive pressure, I guess.
We just look at the replay of Meneghetti as he's going through the castle section. Hold on, no, let's start. Let's not finish straight here. Never mind. And he actually goes past Lucas Mono, and there you can just see the difference in speed between that Cesario and basically any other car today. It's it must hurt to sit in that car at the moment with that engine, but sometimes you just have to think for the long game, and maybe they're looking at Monza and thinking you need a fresh engine there, and there's obviously many races after that.
Yeah, definitely. So. And we can say at the moment, if they can pull away the SMMs, if they can pull away in the rate they are doing at the moment from Pascal Polands, they should be fine with that 5-second penalty. But the question, especially with La Flamme, will be: is he able to keep up the pace, or is he maybe already saving tires behind his teammate because he knows that he might have a problem. Otherwise, yeah, pretty interesting to see that.
I mean, looking at the gap already, it looks like if it finished now, then both CMMs would finish behind Poland's, but they would still be on the podium. So they've at least managed to get that gap big enough to stay on the podium, which is at least something for them.
Yeah, there's nobody who can match them, and Knežević might have a chance to pass Tonon, but we will see. While Lucas Murno, I guess, is so much faster in the second sector than Meneghetti, but he's not able to pass. And even if he's able to pass, there's a big chance, like we saw in the replay 1 or 2 laps ago, then yeah, Meneghetti might have a chance to re-overtake him.
Look at the car behind Warner here, from the time itself. He's catching at a rate, and so this.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna look at that difference. It's like he's standing still.
Yeah, and now the same thing will happen. He will be blocked in the sectors where he's fast, and then he can't keep up on the straight. Oh, look at that, Danny Weller overtakes Soriano, I guess. Oh no, it's defending from Soriano.
But yeah, Beta Julia, despite their terrible start to the race, it seems like they've still got Jose Soriano still fighting for something here.
Yeah, not over with points for him. Pulling every percent of the potential of this car out. We saw that earlier, where he, I guess, finished in a very strong position in Malaysia, for example. So he is unbelievable quick, and I mean, if he's fighting for P11, you can guess how bad the car is performing on this track.
Yeah, sometimes that's one thing you can never forget, like with all the cars that are further down in the grid. It's while those top drivers and those top teams are driving at the absolute limit of those cars and making them go fast, as Jose Soriano's car is smoking again. We saw that at the start of the race already. You can never forget that those slower cars with the drivers in them. They're fighting with machinery, which is so different to drive. Often a lot more difficult to drive. It's sometimes when they manage to do things like, for example, a Tonon in P4, a Curtis in P6, you just have to respect that even more with the machinery that they've got. As Meneghetti is passing on himself here. It was a slow exit though.
Yeah, that was on the last possible moment he braked there. And he was paying the price on the exit.
And going past again. It's becomes a three-way fight here at the moment with Lucas Murno still being behind. But that's again the thing. They're just blocking the track for him in sector 2. He can't make that car work as well as he would want around there at the moment, because there's just no space for him to do so.
Yeah, it's a bit like when your trash is collected and you can't pass the car which is doing it, and you say, well, I'm so much quicker here, but there's no space to pass. And it looks spectacular when they go through this narrow corner there in the castle section.
Yeah, this is just absolutely phenomenal, that turn. But this corner here as well, it lends you to really try and push the car into the corner as much as you can. But the problem is, with the track just falling away from you, with the track descending, you just lose that tiny bit of grip that you would expect, and it's easily it can easily happen that you turn. You have your car in the wall and the other side of that corner, so very difficult corner as well. There's quite a few tricky corners. Lots of people side itself is just underestimated to braking there, and now Lucas Murno is going past.
He was not driving in the slipstream, and then it's the corner.
Murno is trying, but he has to try, but it's just not enough. Too much drag on that car, too little power.
That's very frustrating for Lucas Moura, I guess. But I didn't understand what he was doing, because he was not driving in the slipstream, and then he was braking ultra late. So yeah, don't know what this was about, but he nearly crashed into the back of Meneghetti.
It's another thing though, like all those drivers here, well, not all of them maybe, but depending on especially all the European drivers, I'm not sure what the temperature at the moment is in Brazil, but with all the drivers here, in, they're driving on their rigs.
Oh,
as,
mistake,
Halisel was making a mistake. And
it's so close there, and this was not the perfect line, but he managed to keep it together. And Lucas Moura, I think he's fuming. I mean, now they're going on the straight, and
he's just going to disappear.
I'm interested to see if he's so close. Maybe he can stay with him in the slipstream. Now he makes the next mistake, and Moura will think, what I have to do to get past this car.
Yeah, it's really difficult. But the point was, just to finish my point here, the drivers, I mean, they're driving the heat wave at the moment in Europe, and like sitting on your rig there with what is like 30 degrees, sweating and keeping your concentration up with those conditions is really, really difficult.
Yes, definitely. And the second problem you have, if you got your fan on a too high level, you might have a cold tomorrow. That's the next problem.
That's another thing, and then you will be missing out on the next race maybe.
I wouldn't hope that will happen, but let's see. Especially in Spain, it could be very hot. So let's see what Bossi Soriano is doing while we have. Oh my God!
SCMM! La Flamme, and oh, he's getting in the way of, I think that is Tonon there.
What happened there?
And that's actually a chance for Potenza here. They might get a podium.
This is unbelievable.
Oh, this is such a nightmare for La Flamme now. He needed a good result in this race. It looked so good for a long time, and it's just falling apart for him.
Yeah, and I mean the gap was getting there where it in the first. Oh no!
And it's again
it's the same mistake than Benton Reader.
Yeah,
too quick into the corner, and then and he also slammed the car with the back, also in the barrier. So this is a disaster for him. He will be out of the points when he comes out of the pit.
Yeah, and don't forget, he still got that 5 seconds. He will be able to serve that 5-second penalty at the end of the pit lane here. But yeah, that's just an absolute nightmare for the SCMM squad, and for obviously for Axel La Flamme especially. But for Potenza and for Curtis as well, she's gone up to P5. Meneghetti and Hardy South also right up there in the points, and Potenza with Tonon at the moment, Leonardo Tonon.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Having a dream result maybe here for that squad. I mean, I've said it before. Potenza is always there when it comes to claiming the ends when other people make mistakes.
With a mistake. Have you seen it? He was sliding, but I thought he would spin, but he did not.
But that will be so interesting now. Like, Knežević is looking at a podium here as well. He'll be fighting with everything he has, but Tonon obviously as well. But maybe the pressure, maybe he's really under pressure to keep this now. So, and he must be feeling it inside that cockpit at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean Curtis is only 2.1 or something away. So if they both start to fight, maybe we will have a freeway battle for this third place. So let's see what's happening there. While Meneghetti is pretty solid there in P6. With Self behind him and Murnau, who, yeah, I mean, what will he think after this race? I mean, he will dream about cars being fast on straights.
Yeah, I bet that he will be fuming after the race with maybe even with the decision of not changing the engine before this race. But yeah, maybe they have a long-term plan, so we'll have to see what they'll say after the race.
And now
That's,
Knežević is, I think Knežević now is trying really to push, because he is now right on the back of Tonon. Let's see if he can make it.
But this is the bread and butter of Knežević. That's where he thrives in. Like knowing when he has to push and to make the best out of the situation. So he will be focused. He'll definitely know what his mission is at the moment, and I think Leonardo will be really under pressure there, trying to just get this over the last 10 laps that we are in at the moment.
Yeah, and while his teammate is now in P8, Packley has the chance to maybe score a point here, because he is pretty close, and we see now what we expected, that the Cesarios are much better at the end of the race.
The problem is that straight line speed. They're 12 kilometers per hour slower on the straight line, and they need to get past, and that sector 2 is not easy to pass on. So, and even if they do, they're just going to be repassed again.
I mean, look at that. He was right behind him, and now he's like having to put out. Yeah, he has to zoom in. If he would have done a picture on his smartphone, he would have used the zoom function now to see him. It's unbelievable.
When a car turns into a couple of pixels on your screen, you know your day is really not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Knežević is really close here. He's smelling the podium.
That was like
a
bit of a zigzag move there, but not.
There's a warning for Soriano on a contract with Vela. We see them entering the castle section again here.
Yeah, and
Soriano's fighting with a little bit of oversteer, but yeah, he just needs to get close through this sector 2 here so that he can try and set for an overtake into turn 1. So see if he can manage to do that. There's this complicated corner here, and both cars getting through quite well.
Yeah, and I mean, we have to mention how brutal sim racing can be sometimes. If Laflamme would have made that mistake he did, for example in lap 10, he might be able to still fight, for example, for a podium or something with that safety car in between. But now he's dead last, and he will get Gilbert, I think, maybe Gillet, but then he will finish in 13th position if nothing happens.
While Harley is flying past Meneghetti here, yeah. And Meneghetti's thinking about it, but thinks of it better.
Oh, but that was close.
Yeah. That's the thing about sim racing, and not to brag too much about our league here, but you've got these. You know, when you join a random server on a weekend and you want to do some sim racing, and the race doesn't go to plan, you can just start the next race. In our league, if you've got that one race, and if it goes well, it's such a such great emotions that you feel afterwards. You know, it's a fantastic feeling to have practiced for hours and hours for the weeks beforehand, and having prepared for a race properly and seeing everything just fall into your place. You know, but when it falls apart, it really does, and it's the worst feeling ever. That's the great thing about racing in a league like ours. It's the emotions are so much higher, the drama is so much more, and it's yeah, the worst days they can be very tough, but you can get if it goes well, that can make your day and maybe even your whole week afterwards.
Yeah, and let's see if Lucas Murno now finally got a chance to overtake, because he was very close now. Maybe if he can stay close to the end of the straight, and then maybe he got a run in the second sector.
I think he's actually
gaining a bit.
He's gaining a bit.
Isn't it? 331, I guess. No.
Here we go.
That was a very good exit.
With no acceleration again, but he is faster through the corners.
Yeah, and he's a good good exit there also.
Yeah,
I
second
think
from
he
Michael
has
said
to stay
before.
close up until this corner, and then he might get a chance to try it in the second sector. For example, before the castle section. Because I think, yeah, at this point, I don't think that Self would slam him the door, because he would be very happy with P8. But for Bruno, it would be not that great to be in P8, so...
I always
Yeah.
have to think back to what you said beforehand. Those scenarios, they get better through the race. So
Yes.
there is still some hope for both of them. Especially for Pekti to get instant points and for Mono to maybe actually get up to those. Well, maybe P7 definitely, but maybe even P6 still. It's not over for them yet. It's still 7 laps to go, and you see Knezovic still trying to get past that Potenza up there.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that speed. He is now at the half of the straight, and he's like 10 kHPA quicker than Mono in the slipstream.
He's trying. He's going to the right here. We'll try to go around the outside. Will it be enough with the exit speed?
It
looks
is
good. And now the job will be for Tonon to try to do something to T3 here, because the exit isn't as good as he would have hoped, but he needs to stay in front of the Vanguard. He needs to try something here.
Oh! What was that?
It looks like Knezovic might... No, he's trying it, trying it, and they spun around! And that's an absolute disaster for Knezovic here.
Yeah, but
and
I
that will
think
definitely be...
That's the podium for Curtis, I think. That
it
could be
looks
the podium
like
for
it.
Curtis. Because Tonon will get a penalty for that, for sure.
Yeah, I very much think it will be the case if the race control deems that Tonon is at fault for that incident, which, at least on the first look, it definitely looked like it. As Mono is trying to get past
and
himself,
now
and he lost the car as well. So, a couple of things happening here. So Tonon collecting Knezovic into a corner, with Curtis being the big winner going into the podium position now. And,
yeah, let's look at the replay. I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what exactly happened there. It's the slow car in Sector 2. And yeah, he's trying a dive bomb. I mean, I understand his thinking. He needs to stay in front of the Vanguard, but he loses the car. He loses the rear, and there's nowhere to go.
No,
so.
I think that's a penalty.
Yeah, I think so too. Surely must end up in a penalty. Though, still another 5 laps to go here. So
self-repassed
Mono again.
But I guess if he's so close, he can repass him and then pull away in the second sector, if he's able to do the repass, like in turn 3 or something. But let's see. And this is Meneghetti now. He is like, 5 seconds behind his teammate, depending on...
As we get the confirmation that Leonardo Tonon is getting a 10-second time penalty. That's such a shame for the Potenza squad here. They were in such a good position, but this also means Meneghetti is going to go to get a position up again. So
left hand, right hand. So they lose a few points, but not that much, as Meneghetti was not in this position. Yeah, the point is, yeah, for sure. If I would be Curtis now and Tonon would be quicker than me, and that's what we will see here now, if this is the case, I would let him go, because I know he's got a penalty, and the only thing Curtis now has to do to get this podium, which would be incredible, he has to finish in front of Alexander Knezovic.
Oh my god!
And this is a big crash.
And Mono has gone into him as well, but it looks like Hardysov just about managed to get out of the wall again.
What
and
was
only
that?
lost
That
the front
was too
wing.
much curb.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing that through the whole race here, but you can see the whole steering as well. It's just crooked as well. So
yeah, he will finish last now.
Such a shame for him as well. Him as well, having had such a good race up until now. And yeah, I mentioned that corner a couple of times. It's devious, going with a curb, losing the rear, and yeah.
It seems like both Lucky Hamish cars have a car which is has the tendency, if they are braking very hard, to that the rear is stepping out. I mean, that can help on a street circuit, but in this case, it cost him the amount of confidence to keep the car turning, because he feels, I guess, that he loses the car rear-wise, and that's why he then drove into the wall. So, and that also means that now Danny Weller will get the last point, and Soriano drags this car at the moment to 2 points. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yeah. And also, I mentioned the Potenza against Lucky Hamish constructors fight. This is looking, even though Curtis is in front in P3, that will mean that Potenza will actually have more points at the end of this race, and will probably go well just above of Bravo Snowshotten here. So, well, both teams going ahead, but Potenza actually gaining 2 positions in the constructors.
Yeah,
which for the smaller teams is a lot of points.
And just mention that Bravo Snowshotten is not part of the league anymore. They decided to go elsewhere, and but their points are still there, and still every team which is passing them will get more prize money, and so it's important to pass them.
Yeah, so will be very interesting with those 2 teams to see. With especially a race like this being very, very important, because how often do you get a chance to get so many points with a car that normally wouldn't fight up there?
Yes.
And they are doing an absolutely phenomenal job. All of those drivers are doing a phenomenal job in keeping those cars up there at the moment, and it's amazing to see the smaller teams also getting some of the spotlight in the race.
And at the moment, if I'm not completely wrong, Murno is virtually in P6, so that would be damage limitation, I guess. With that race, how it went for him, I think that's okay. If he would be in P6, I think he would say, yeah, that's okay.
Definitely, he's just behind Knilovic, which is. If you look at it that way, it is definitely damage limitation. Though looking at the gap between Polens and Pushka, it is growing. Polens is struggling a little bit, and it's only 3 laps, and Pushka only needs 2 seconds to claim that first place. So
has he got a 10-second penalty?
Oh, sorry, was it 5?
I think
5.
5.
Wasn't it? Yeah, never mind. So yeah, Pushka is ahead.
He has
never
this
mind.
gap.
Yeah.
And that was interesting, because when La Flamme made this mistake, he was himself shortly before the moment he would have passed this 5-second gap situation. So he was right before having that 5-second gap. And
now the question that I've got: will the brakes survive on all of those cars? Have they learned from last season?
I hope so. And what we see here is, I don't think that this is real. I don't think that this is a mistake. I don't think that Axel Laflamme is driving on rain tires.
That would be an absolute blunder by a team if it was the case. But yeah, race view is telling me the same. Apparently he is. So not sure. It will be interesting to hear.
Maybe he was hoping for British weather, but I don't think that it is real. But Tonon, I have the confirmation. So Tonon, what we said right, has a 10-second penalty, so he will be in 7th at the moment.
Oh, that must hurt so much.
Yeah, that's not good. And on the same. Oh no, I just got the information. I think he's on primes. La Flamme is on primes.
It's on the hard tires. Okay.
So this is the hard tire that we never saw. That's why we don't know it. So okay. So, it's the hard tire. I don't know why he's on it, maybe for testing reasons, because nobody really uses them, and they want to explore what they can do in a race situation. And with that situation that he won't score any points out of his own force, I guess they now went for the primes.
Yeah, it sounds like we'd like a test session for him now. I mean, there's only, well, one more lap to go after this one. Pushka definitely having a 9-second lead to Portents at the moment, so he is just outside of that zone where he has to worry about losing his winning position at the moment. But Curtis in P3, that lucky Hamish racing team up there in P3, that would be a massive upset for them.
Yeah, it will be. There will be a big party, I guess. And now Philip Pushke comes to lap, I guess, Joubert. And if this is over, yeah, he only can beat himself, I guess.
As we're looking. Yeah, it's interesting at the moment. It's like the thing is, even if Tonga got past, it just does not matter, does it, with the 10 seconds? So, yeah, as long as I keep it clean, I wouldn't be too worried for him at the moment. Knežević just not keeping up, unfortunately, with the with him at the moment, but he will still be able to get that P4 if everything works out as it did up until now. And
yeah, I mean that's the situation. Tonon gets a penalty for something he did wrong, but Knežević still lost a place out of the situation, and this is, yeah, in racing. It happens that it's not 100%, let's say, fair, but at the other side of that argument, Curtis did nothing wrong, so he is getting handed this podium by Tonon and his actions.
I just feel for Knežević here a bit. I mean, he hasn't had much luck lately, has he? It's
no,
constantly being those small mistakes, often by other drivers as well, where he just got collected or was involved in some way, and you just have to feel for him a little bit with the way the season has gone up until now. But
on the other hand, P4 is very solid.
It's still solid, yeah. And I know he won't be happy with the result, probably, or you would have.
But who is happy is Philip Pushke, I guess, because he
congratulations. Philip Pushke, another win, and Portents there just coming in at the back there. Vanguard on P2, it's more than they probably would have hoped at the end of the race. But here comes both big surprises. Obviously Tonon won't keep that P4, but P3 here. It looks very good for Lucky Hamish Racing, it looks good for Tina Curtis too.
Tonon, it will be close with...
Oh yeah, so
he even
will still pass on the line, yeah. It won't matter at the end of the day, but
maybe this has saved him. Maybe this saved him P6. Let's see what the timing screen says.
It's 29, yeah.
Yes, no.
It's enough, no.
He's P7. He's P7. Yeah. But it was close then. It was close with Murnau. It was pretty close.
And here comes the P10 as well. So the points already stand.
Tonon set the fastest last sector in the last lap.
Yeah, that's the massive slipstream that you just had at the end. I just wanted to mention as well, like Philip Pushke with 350 kilometers per hour at the end. And when we come to the results as well, Philip Pushke winning the race with Pascal Portents and P2, Leonardo Tonon finishing P3, but won't be keeping that place with Tina Curtis actually finishing the race with P3. Alexander Knežević, he went in at P5, will also gain a position. Then comes Diego Meneghetti, Lucas Murnau, Jose Soriano, and Dominic Rustemeyer, with Danny Vella P10, and the rest of the finishers being Hardy Self in P11. You would have hoped for a bit more. Axel Laflamme with a very unfortunate P12 for the SCMM squad, and then comes Joe Gillett for the Snapline team in P13, and Gabriel Joubert with P14 for Apex. The non-finishers being Gabriel Peckley, Daniel Bettenrieder, and Paolo Villami. Yeah, what do you make from that race? There was a lot happening in the last 20 laps. It was very interesting, definitely.
Yeah, I think the safety car definitely had a great impact. Not so much on the, let's say, starting positions after that, but yeah, it changed completely. In case of Axel Aflam, what this mistake cost him, I think without the safety car, or if he did this mistake earlier in the race, it wouldn't have made that big of a difference. Yeah, and at the end, a very surprising P3, I guess. Because of this battle between Tonon and Knezovic. And at the end, yeah, I think a very deserved podium. And even if Knezovic would have deserved it also, but at the end, yeah, I think the only guy who will be a little bit yeah, not that happy is Lucas Murno because he was much quicker than his position is indicating. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's a few lost points for Philip Puschke in this championship battle because his teammate wasn't able to get this P2 home.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of very unhappy faces after the race, and a couple of very, very happy faces after the race here. Well, we'll hear it from the top three then in a couple of minutes from Philip Puschke and Pascal Polens and Tina Curtis in the post-race interviews. Yeah. Calendar in about, what is that, 4 weeks or 3 weeks time, we'll be going to Monza on June the 21st. And we're expecting kind of similar conditions, both racetracks being very fast, average speed racetracks. And then we'll have a summer break where everyone will have time to think about the season and how it's gone and where to put their focus and on. And then we'll be going back to Austria in Spielberg on the 16th of August, as we're seeing that our top three is now in a waiting room. So we'll be pulled them in now. So, hi Philip, hi Pascal, hi Tina. Nice to see you three on a podium here. I think I'd like to start first with Philip. Yeah, how are you feeling after that win? Are you happy?
Yes, but very exhausted. I'm a little bit ill till this morning, so not ideal in terms of stability in the race, but somehow managed to pull off a clean race. Obviously not clean in terms of not getting any penalties again, but it was enough. The car was good enough to build a gap and then manage that gap to win. Yeah.
Yeah, respect for doing that performance while still being ill. We definitely couldn't tell from the commentary box. But what are your thoughts on Monza and for the next race, considering that the race tracks are sort of similar?
I think should be okay. Obviously, considering like the car was, I don't know how much faster, but it was quite a bit faster, and Pascal still was able to. Obviously, he was slower, but he wasn't like off the chart slower. He was still there. So I have to raise my game for the next race upcoming, and I don't know what happened to my teammate. Obviously, very big shame because the car was. Yeah, we needed a 1-2, but yeah, it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Sounds good. I always like hearing when that there's some challenge being put to the other teams. Coming down now to Pascal. Vanguard on P2 more than you expected.
Yeah, for sure. We were expecting P3 at most, but yeah, in the end it played out quite well for us. So I would have taken a P3, but P2 is even better, so I can't complain.
Yeah, I was just wanted to mention like the start of the race as well. What was your thought at the start of the race, where I think you were shortly in the lead, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it, but so far during the whole season, the SEMMs and especially Philip are getting off the line quite, in a bad shape. But still, the way up until turn 1 is so short in Baku, I didn't think I could attack, but I took it from there, and after that I asked Kevin what our plan is for the race, and he told me to just minimize the race time. So after I think it was lap 2 or lap 3, I let Philip by and didn't defend anymore just to secure the P3.
So, and what do you think about Monza coming up? I mean, SCM looking very good here in Baku, but are any upgrades for you planned for Monza, or do you expect to challenge them at all in Monza?
To be honest, I expect that we are the best car in Monza, so we are going for a double win, P1, P2.
That's quite a say in a commentary before, and expecting a lot of you both now for Monza. Good to hear. And then to Tina, podium for Lucky Hamish. That's you must be ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm absolutely ecstatic, man. I wouldn't have expected this on like the halfway point because I pitted just after like the full course yellow came out. I was like, I thought the race was over there for the podium there. Not even for the podium, but like P4. But like, I can't even get my words straight. I'm just so happy that I got P3.
I can imagine. I mean, there was so much. There were quite a few of you guys fighting for those top positions. Who, like, with some people who thought a bit more negatively would probably say you were out of position there, but you were keeping your pace towards the other top teams, and well, you kept it together. Obviously, Leonardo with a bit of with that incident, obviously not getting that P3 there, but yeah, what's was it very stressful for you in the cockpit, or did you think, or were you just so concentrated on keeping it all together?
I was definitely more stressed in the first half than I was in the second because, like, at the second half, I knew what I just had to do was just focus on my own race and then just hope that I get, like, lucky with a couple of things. And I ended up getting lucky with, like, a lot of things, especially with the collision between Knesset and Turn-On. I still can't believe I actually went through that hole that was just barely there when they made contact. I really wanted to keep P3 on the road, and I think I only barely missed out as well, but I mean, it's P3 at the end of the day, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it as 7,000 at the end on the line there, but yeah, it was still enough. You kept it all together. Congrats, man. It was really nice.
Thank you.
And then yeah, back to Philip. Yeah, you just heard the comments from Pascal there. What have you got to say about Vanguard challenging you? I think he's muted at the moment. Okay, then I think that's...
He already stormed off.
Okay, sounds like it. Yeah, Michael, do you have anything to add?
No, just exciting. Yeah, to hear that stories from our drivers, and I think we are up for a great race in Italy, where the expectations are high now after this. Saying from Pascal, and I guess they have to do this one too now, because otherwise it won't be what he said. So the stakes are high, and let's see how the next race goes.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks to you three for joining us up here, and congrats to you all again. And yeah, I think that about closes it for this race here. It's been an absolutely amazing race. Thanks to the team for the broadcast here, and Michael also for joining me in a commentary. It was lots of fun. I hope you all enjoyed this race, and we'll see each other again on June the 21st in beautiful Monza. Thanks for listening, and see you there.